Welcome to Invisible No More, the podcast where we explore triumphs over trauma and the powerful journeys of healing and resilience. I'm your host, Shannon Huff, and together we'll shine a light on the stories of strength, hope, and the paths we forge to reclaim our lives. Let's dive in.
All right, welcome back to Invisible No More. I'm Shannon Huff, and today I have with me Johnny and Heidi. Johnny and Heidi came to us through CreatiVets for our conference, and they wrote a song that every time I hear, I cry. I literally, I just can't help it. Even when you were just practicing, my eyes tear up and I cry because that experience was so magical. Our conference was amazing. So thank you all for joining us for the podcast. And I've got to let you take it away and talk about your experience with us and how you came about with the song, and then we'll hear you play it.
Sounds good. Well, hello. Good to see you again. Thank you so much for having us. That was our first time doing anything with MST, and what an eye-opener. Oh, my goodness. Neither of us had worked in that space yet in our songwriting with veteran careers that we've had. That was a first for us. So
we had one little glimpse into being made aware of it, though. Years ago at a concert, we were doing a charity concert benefiting some veteran organization. We met a couple of women who, as the drinks were flowing and stuff, they kind of let something out, because that kind of trauma kind of leaks out through holes here and there, and we were complete strangers. And I remember Heidi and I talked about that and still had continued to talk about that for years. Like, can you believe that? I mean, and the stories were very, they just touched on them a little bit. That, wasn't in depth or anything like what we did in the right, but it was just a little bit of an eye-opening kind of I guess it's just something that I'm not entirely, unfortunately, not entirely super surprised happens, but the amount that happens and the sweeping under the rug, all the way that they were talking about it in that encounter, like it was no big deal almost, like kind of it's just what you do kind of thing. That was the part that Heidi and I couldn't get over, where we were like, we got to help our brothers out, was kind of the attitude. And I was like, oh man, but then to get to work with you guys years later after that, how many times did we talk about that for like 4 years? Mm-hmm. It kept coming up, and then to get to work with you guys and help out a little bit in our own way in that department was, felt like something we were headed towards ever since that day,
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, everyone was so just in awe of your voices and your music and just how you all just bonded with us. Everybody talks about Johnny and Heidi, and we're so grateful. And unfortunately, it is a big number. And it's not surprising, but the number is surprising. And the fact that it still happens to this day. So I wanted to keep this one kind of lighthearted because the podcast I taped previous to you all, she was actually assaulted 3 times in 6 months. And you just look at it and go, why is this happening? Why are we dealing with this in 2025?
And that it's repeating.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's so terrible.
Well, and not that I had this take with Heidi the other day, where what blows my mind about this specific action and what makes it worse than a lot of things in my head is that you could create a scenario where I wouldn't bat an eye to kill. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could, if you were to go, okay, this is happening, Heidi's in this much trouble, my nieces or my nephews or somebody I care about, I could see a way that I could kill almost without hesitation. You know what I'm saying? I cannot see a scenario where I could do something like that. I cannot paint one in my head. It seems so just, it doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm totally with you where you say it's unbelievable. That's the part that's unbelievable to me. Like I don't see an avenue towards that action, I guess. But anyways, we had you guys throw a party, first of all. I mean, I remember
most epic conga line.
It started with the conga
line,
and it ended with Benson Boone's that outfit he wore at the Grammys. I remember us in the lobby, and he did a backflip off the piano, and I'm like, I'm like, I was looking at Heidi. I'm like, oh, no, because we're stage performers too. I'm like, I don't need to start wearing blue leotards and doing flips off pianos, do I, honey? But no,
I mean, if you want to, Johnny, go ahead. I mean,
I'd probably break a piano or two. But yeah, we had a blast, honey. I'm trying to remember exactly the scenario in the room where we met everyone in the room first for the right? Or was it?
No, we met like in the right. It was when we got to meet everyone.
Right.
And yeah, you want to just get into that? You want to talk
let's do
about
it.
the song?
Yeah.
So Johnny and I, along with Elizabeth from CreatiVets, the three of us wrote this song with Anne, Heather, and Jane, three incredible women attending the conference. And I mean, all the CreatiVets songs kind of start the same way, where you're just getting to know each other and hear everyone's stories. And we like to let we don't do a lot of talking, because we're just there to gather information and make it rhyme in a melody form, essentially. But we like to ask questions and kind of pull things out of people and get them talking and opening up. And we just had the three women just kind of, we said, you can tell as little or as much as you want to share. And I think everyone kind of anticipated on sharing a little bit, and then they start talking, and then the other one would jump in and go, oh, me too, and then what about this, and then the third one would jump in and go, oh, that's like my story. And then pretty soon the three of them have completely opened up and shared a lot. And it was I will say, it was probably one of the hardest ones we've ever done. We've never done an MST song like that before. So to hear three women tell their stories that were, just like you said, the podcast you just taped, just so incredibly, so many emotions. First of all, anger, super angry hearing this, rage, you want to go find these people. The second emotion is just truly heartbreak, like for these women in front of you that have just told you their stories. And confusion. I mean, like, you name it. There's so many things running through your head. And then we just had to kind of figure out, was there a common theme, aside from like the obvious, but like what they wanted to talk about? Did they want their song to be reliving their story? Did they want it to be an empowerment song for them? Did they want it to be for their fellow veterans? Did they want it to be for a specific person or a specific feeling? Or what kind of goal did they have in mind? So that's kind of the next part, is once everyone's kind of shared and been like, here it all is, then we kind of need to go, okay, well, what's the common ground here? Or what is something that the three of you, because we're writing one song for three women and three very different stories. I mean, all the same umbrella category, but three very different women in three very different situations. And so we just kind of wanted to talk about what were they hoping to get out of the day? What were they wanting to walk away with this? So they shared, and they unloaded all of this trauma and everything that they've been carrying around. And it's like, well, now what do you want to get out of this? So the point is healing in some aspect. So is it talking about, some people want to tell the exact situation and the exact story, and some people want it to be very metaphorical, and some people want it to be very hopeful and looking into the future. And so basically we just kind of found the common ground and went with the song we'll play for you in a bit here. But it is a tough one. It is a tough one to sing. It was a very, I don't know. It was an incredible experience. And I hate to say it was an incredible experience, because that sounds so positive, and it was positive in a way. But it was a very positive experience. But it was incredible in the sense that it was just, we felt like we had such a responsibility that day. Like we do when we're doing CreatiVets songs. Veterans tell us their deepest, darkest secrets and things they've been hanging on to and things they've gone through, things that they don't want to tell maybe their spouse or family or its closest friends. And then they tell us. And so we have this weight and we have this responsibility to make sure that we use that information wisely and write them just the best song that we can, that's going to, so that they can get something out of it and they can, hopefully do some healing. So,
well, I can say there wasn't a dry eye in our hotel when we heard the song, and I just play it every once in a while when I need just a good, you're not going to stop me, I'm or I'm tired and I've gotten another rejection for something, I'll throw that song on. I'm like, yeah, okay, I came through a lot and here I am. And so it's kind of like a battle cry for me. And,
Yeah.
when you say you take that on, I understand because I take on so many stories
Oh,
and
I'm
so
sure.
much heartbreak that I just want to like, oh, you like you said, Johnny, I can't imagine someone going to where they assault someone sexually. It's like the most violating thing you can do, but helping them, helping the survivors and uh, doing what we can to help them thrive is so fulfilling. And so I just thank you all because it was so rewarding for me to hear that song.
Well, the the people we wrote with were, um, I mean, I had one more emotion than you probably had. It was a little bit, a lot of shame, for my gender for sure. I mean, for men out there, I'm kind of like, yeah, because of that, I don't understand it. I don't know what's to be gained from it. I don't like, it doesn't make any
Well, it comes
kind of
back to what
sense.
you said. There is never ever in the history of the universe has there or will there ever be any kind of justifiable reason.
Yeah.
Just never has there
I mean,
or will there. So
good luck trying to think of one. So yeah, so it's just a purely heinous, evil act, But we, with those kind of awful things in the world, like you said, it gives us an opportunity to step up and try to help out. And what I loved with that right too is this always happens with a group right. Whenever, because we don't always do a group right. Sometimes it's just one veteran. And with a group right, everyone comes in a little skeptical. They don't know how it's going to go. And as soon as the song starts to form, you know what I mean? Everybody's like, oh. And it's almost, that is the sneaky, tricky part of the songwriting, using, CreatiVets' idea of using songwriting as therapy is before you know it, you're trying to get your story and your lines into the song because you want them there now. And a lot of veterans look back on the right and go, they almost feel like they were, tricking is not the right word, but it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
You get kind of duped into jumping in on this thing that ends up helping you in the long run, which is kind of nice. I mean, it's what co-writes are like for us anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You will go into a write. A normal scenario for a songwriter is you might go into a write and or he or she will sit down and say, I have this going on in my life. My girlfriend broke up with me. And as the co-writer, you're excited because you're like, oh, we get to write your pain today, not mine.
We have a song idea today.
Yeah.
And then you just start pulling the song out of them because there's greatness there, and that person might be a little damaged by the trauma and unable to formulate things well, but the co-writers are there to help them get it all out and get it into the order it needs to be in and turn it into a song. And as a result, that breakup turns into a victory in a weird way. They can go, oh, I made something productive that's going to help other people through breakups or other people through whatever it is. Richard's idea, he's the founder of CreatiVets, to apply that same scenario to helping veterans was nothing short of a
Genius
It-
action. And it's great.
Absolutely. Well, I would love to share your song on our podcast. So I'm going to let you all just take the stage and sing this beautiful song and let everyone enjoy it. And if I cry, I'll just be over here, wiping my face.
All right, this song is called Woman on Fire. And like I said, we wrote this, Johnny and I wrote this along with Elizabeth from CreatiVets. And then the three women we wrote it with were Anne, Heather, and Jane. Woman on Fire. Here we go. I'm not perfect. I'm a work in progress. Trying to hold on to the feeling that I got this. I'm still grieving what's unforgotten, sifting through ashes of the past that I got lost in. But I'm tough as hell, I'm a survivor. Every day I walk with my head a little higher. I'm holding on, I'm getting stronger, breaking chains when chasing shame calls me a liar. I was alone, try to hide it, but you put the spark inside my heart till it ignited. Oh, but I'm angry, I'm frustrated, full of hurt, and God, I hate it. Shown my scars, so now you know me. It's not my ending, it's my story, and I'm tough as hell. I'm a survivor. Every day I walk with my head a little high. I'm holding stronger, breaking chains when chasing shame calls me a liar. I'm a woman on no scars to show, no bullet holes. What I went through is tattooed on my soul, but I'm tough as hell. I'm a survivor. Every day I walk with my head a little higher. I'm holding on, getting stronger, breaking chains when chasing shame calls me a liar. I'm on fire.
Always tears. Just so grateful. And we're going to definitely have to try and get you back for 2026. We're going to be in San Antonio.
Oh, we would
So
love
excited.
that.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. We're just going to end up with a whole CD of Johnny and Heidi, and then we're going to market the heck out of it. And,
Love it.
maybe we'll become millionaires.
That'd be great. Think
Yeah.
of the people you could help.
We'll be working on the songs to go between those, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so that it's not a whole show of just everyone crying the whole time.
We'll throw some things in there that the Congo line can get.
Yeah.
behind,
Right.
I tell you, after 4 hours of dancing that night, my legs the next morning, I was just like, oh, but I just had to get all that energy out,
Yeah.
and all the hours of planning, and just, I needed to dance. And I'm not a dancer, as everybody now knows, but it was so much fun.
No,
So-
it was great. And I know what you mean. Like and we didn't even, our part was quite small. We weren't in those rooms all day taking on all that heavy stuff. And the crying headache in your temples
Yes.
when you hold back cry and then you get a temple headache, dancing and fun music, and everyone was just like letting loose and barefoot, and skirts were, swinging in the air. Like, it was so much fun. And when you said that, like, you just needed to, like, who cares, just dance and like sing along and be silly for a night, it was perfect.
It
was
was.
great.
And what you all did for us was perfect too. So we're just so grateful and looking forward to many other opportunities with you all, and just your hearts. We're so grateful for your support. So yeah, we're excited to know you all.
Well, I mean, the feelings are very mutual. It truly was an honor to attend and to be there and to meet so many just truly remarkable women, just very impressive people that have done really amazing things with their lives to help others and to pay it forward and to help their fellow veterans. It was just a really special, beautiful weekend. And it was just, like I said, it was an honor to be included and to be a part of that, and just getting to sit in the background and watch and see how you all interact with each other, and the goodness that you've brought to so many people's lives. I mean, everyone got up on that stage and thanked you personally on how you've personally changed and saved their lives. Like, it was just a beautiful thing to witness.
It definitely is an endeavor of the heart, because there's some days that my brain can't take it anymore. It's all heart driven. So thank you. And we know you all do a lot of amazing things, and we're just so grateful to have you part of ours. So
Well, we love you. Thank you so much for
Love you too.
having us.
love you too, and thank you. And we are so grateful again for Johnny and Heidi. And don't forget to start saving those pennies for the conference next year, 2026 in San Antonio. And we'll see you again next time. We'd like to thank the members of our Founders Circle, Superbio, Walmart, USAA, Sauk County Veterans Service Office, National Electrical Contractors Association, and Julie Norton. Ask us how you can be a member of the Founders Circle today.